Hello and welcome to this Let's Play of Sentinels the Multiverse the video game, Rook City Edition. That's right, we are going in with the first expansion for Sentinels of the Multiverse. This is a direct sequel to my original Sentinels Let's Play, and in fact, if you haven't watched that one, I'm not going to be retreading old ground. Sentinels of the Multiverse is a cooperative superhero card game. There's no deck building involved, but you can think of the actual decks as something akin to a Magic the Gathering deck that comes already pre-built. You can see here there's a lot of characters, and in the first Let's Play, I got into a great deal of them, and I'm not going to be spending time explaining how the old heroes work. I'm just going to be using them as if you already know. So, if you haven't watched the first one, I'll try not to leave you behind, but it might be a good idea to come back to this one later. Rook City was the first expansion ever released for Sentinels of the Multiverse. I remember when it came out. It is, to be completely transparent, not my favorite expansion. It's clear that it was the first one. They were still trying to figure out how to balance their game properly, and it's a little rough around the edges. That said, I have come to appreciate it more over the years. It's not like I hate it or anything. It's just not my favorite. But I am going to do the best that I can to put that aside, and we're just going to have fun with some Sentinels. There are 4 new villains as usual. We've got Plague Rat, a mutant human rat creature who infects the heroes with the same virus, mutagen, whatever, that made him a giant mutant scary rat. Spite, who is, I think, based off of Bane from the Batman series. He is pumped full of drugs he was experimented on, and now the experiments have gone extremely wrong and he's rampaging through the city. He has a variant. We will not be getting into it for this series because it actually came with the next expansion, and it has within it major spoilers for the next expansion, so we're not going to touch on that this time. We also have the Chairman Pike. He is the leader, the shady underbelly of the Rook City crime underworld, whatever you want to call it. And we also have the Matriarch, an angsty teenager who found a relic of some magical power and is now running rampant. Also, this is the expansion that first brought in level 4 difficulty villains, being the Chairman and the Matriarch. We'll talk about it when we get there. We're going to start off with Plague Rat. I think he's the easiest of the new villains. However, Rook City is not an easy expansion. It was meant to be more difficult than the previous game, and it certainly accomplished that. We've got 2 new heroes. Expatriate, Citizen Dawn's daughter, who does not have any powers and just is really good at shooting guns. And Mr. Fixer, who again does not have any supernatural powers. He's a martial arts master turned car mechanic, and now he uses his martial arts powers to fight against specifically the Chairman. I'm pretty sure they're nemesis, right? Yeah, they're nemesis. So he's trying to protect the city, specifically from Chairman Pike and his violent thugs. I am going to challenge myself to use one of the new heroes in every game that I play. This is easier said than done because, like I said, they hadn't quite figured balancing out yet, and I think that's pretty apparent. Fixer can be very powerful, but he has his drawbacks, and Expatriate is widely considered to be the weakest hero in the series. That doesn't make her bad. As somebody put it to me, someone's got to be the weakest. But there's definitely situations where neither of them really fit on a team, but we're going to make it work. There's also 2 new environments. Pike Industrial Complex, which is a chemical plant run by, of course, Chairman Pike, and Rook City itself. I consider this to be one of, if not the most difficult environments to play in, and as such, there are going to be times where I'm just not going to play in it at all. But because this is our very first battle, and Plague Rat is, if not easy, as easy as it's going to get, we're going to play in Rook City. For heroes, we're going to use Legacy. You're going to see me relying on him a lot. Visionary, probably going to rely on her quite a bit too. Tempest, and Mr. Fixer. Let's do it. Allow me to be the first to formally welcome you to Rook City, the most unfriendly place with the best music. Plague starts by playing Plague Locust. Yeah, there we go. This is considered a nest. It's a target, but it's not like an ongoing or anything that we can actually destroy. We have to take its HP down. Increase damage dealt by Plague Rat and all infected heroes by 1. At the end of the villain turn, Plague Rat regains X HP, where X equals the number of infected heroes. This will probably die long before the healing is going to be a problem. Oh, you know what? I didn't actually go over Plague Rat's mechanics, so let's grab his card. At the start of the game, Plague Rat enters play Plague Bearer side up. Plague Locust is put into play and the villain deck is shuffled, so Plague Locust is always his first card. At the start of the villain turn, if all active heroes are infected, Plague Rat flips. We'll get into what that means, it'll become obvious. Whenever a card named Infection is destroyed, Plague Rat deals each hero target 4 toxic damage. That 4 is H. Fun fact, I'm pretty sure this is the expansion where they introduced the concept of H. H being the number of heroes, and damage that comes out, or sometimes cards that get destroyed or discarded, is variable based on your team. That wasn't a thing in the original. At the end of the villain turn, Plague Rat deals each hero target 1 irreducible melee damage. This is also the first set to introduce irreducible damage. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's damage that can't be reduced. So if you have an effect, say, Twist the Ether, that you can attach to a villain that lowers their damage, it won't work if the damage is irreducible. That also means if there's a way to increase that damage, like say Plague Locust, you cannot bring it back down. It can be very powerful, it can also be entirely inconsequential. Let's grab the Rampage card. Oops. Or not Rampage, Ravage, excuse me. This is a one-shot. Plague Rat deals each hero target other than the hero target with the highest HP 2 toxic damage, not melee damage. Search the villain deck for as many copies of the card Infection as hero targets damage this way. Play them and shuffle the villain deck. This is a very scary way to open up this battle. Let's see what happens. Alright, take the damage. I am going to be rushing through damage that's just across the board, same thing, so we all took 3 damage there, and I just sped through it. Infection. This is an ongoing. When this card is played, if all active heroes are infected, play the top card of the villain deck. Then, move this card to the villain trash. Play this card next to an active hero who is not infected. That hero is infected. At the start of that hero's turn, they deal themselves 1 irreducible toxic damage. It's kind of a balancing act. Do you want to just let the infection happen, or do you want to take large amounts of damage by destroying all the infections? If all heroes are infected, Plague Rat flips. And actually, we haven't looked at his other side. At the start of the villain turn, Plague Rat deals each infected hero 2 toxic damage, then if any active heroes are not infected, Plague Rat flips. Infected heroes have these powers. Your hero deals a hero target 3 toxic damage and regains 3 HP. Your hero target deals themselves 4 toxic damage and destroys a card named Infection. Does not have to be the one that's infecting that hero. At the end of the villain turn, Plague Rat deals each hero target 1 irreducible melee damage. It's not as scary as, say, Citizen Dawn flipping. It's not scary enough that you necessarily need to build an entire strategy over whether you're going to let him flip or not. It's just a change that you need to be aware of. And right now, we are getting 3 heroes that are going to be infected. I'm going to give it to Legacy, purely because he has the highest HP and can take a little bit of damage. And then, I guess, Fixer for the same reason. I guess Visionary. Doesn't really matter at this point. Tempest damage can be increased easier than Visionaries can. Alright, well, that was a first turn. We're all taking 2 damage. And turn's over. The little flashing card that was there, that was him trying to heal himself. But he can't, because he was at full HP. Never a bad time for a takedown. He can't play cards anymore for 1 turn. Galvanize, which raises all of our damage until the start of Legacy's turn. And let's see what we can do about this. Ongoing management is extremely important for this, for fighting Plague Rat, which is why I went with this team. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we have any right now, which is really upsetting. I guess we'll just start by doing what we can. So, Oh, that's right! Something to remember. Infected heroes' damage goes up because of Plague Locust. That does affect hitting the villain targets as well. Something to keep in mind. It's not, I would say, not worth keeping Plague Locust around for that reason, but it is something to remember. Let's see if we can get some ongoing removal. That works, actually. Let's see here. I'm tempted to get rid of Otherworldly Resistance because we can't reduce most of his damage anyway. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. Alright, perfect. Now we've got it. Okay, so I am actually going to... I think this is how this works. I didn't play this game physical very often. I don't tend to play it, the digital version, very often either, but I think this should work. And since we're not destroying it, I don't think we're going to take the damage either. I think I'd rather take it off of Visionary because of her health that's getting low. So damage dealt to him. Yep, it didn't count as destroying it. Excellent. Just going to deal 1 damage to both him and the Plague Locust, being increased by Galvanize. Ooh, that's nice. I'm already coming up with a plan here. Alright, Mr. Fixer, Mr. Fixer, Mr. Fixer. Mr. Fixer is somewhat of a jack of all trades. He has a lot of things he can do, many of which are very powerful. The problem being that he has no card draw. That's not entirely true. He has 2 types of cards. He has style cards, and he has tool cards, and they work together to get the effects that you want. He has 1 card that can get him a specific style. He has no cards that can get him a specific tool. He does have 1 equipment that lets him up his card draw a little bit, but it's really hard to get what you need with this guy. Fortunately, well, actually, no, I was going to say Hoist Chain is good. It's not necessarily good against Plague Rat. It's a tool that lets him reduce damage. It reduces all damage dealt by a target by 1 until the start of your next turn. However, because Plague Rat's damage is irreducible, it doesn't really do very much against him. I'll play it for now because I don't have any other tools, and sometimes Fixer can power up just by having a tool, but it's not really what I wanted. This style, however, is what I want. It's exactly what you want against Plague Rat. The first time each turn that Mr. Fixer would be dealt 2 or less damage, you may redirect that damage to a target of your choice. You can't reduce Plague Rat's damage, but as long as it stays 2 or below, you can redirect it back to him. So I'm going to play that now. And his power is not that impressive. Strike. Mr. Fixer deals 1 target, 1 melee damage. This can combo off of other cards that he has, but because it's so difficult to get those cards, I honestly find playing Mr. Fixer to be a little bit of a crapshoot. There's heroes that can work with him that makes it easier to get the cards that he needs, but most of them were not released by this point, so we're not doing that. Let's just see how quickly we can take this Plague Locust down. Alright, it's almost time for Rook City to have a turn. There's the toolbox. That lets him get some cards. Oh, Tony Taurus, starting off with a card that's actually helpful. Private Eye. This card is immune to damage from hero targets. At the end of the environment turn, reveal the top 2 cards of the villain deck. Put 1 on top of the villain deck and 1 on the bottom. Then the villain character card with the highest HP either deals this card or the hero with the lowest HP for melee damage. You can protect him. I don't usually find that it's worth it. Sorry, Tony. Oh gosh. Oh, well, we knew that already, but this is, that's an ongoing. At the start of each hero turn, if that hero target is infected, they deal X melee damage to the hero target with the highest HP, where X is the number of infected heroes. I think I might actually want to play that, because it gets that infection out of the way. I'd rather take a little bit of damage now than have to deal with the infection again, because then Tempest can enter the stratosphere another one, and then Visionary can, well, I guess she can't use Suggestion because I'll have played it by then, but still, it gets us another turn. Maybe I should have played Visionary after Tempest's turn, although the idea was that she found the ongoing. She's trying to find stuff for him. We are not going to take this hit for Tony. Sorry, Tony. Love this saxophone. Oh yeah, he can't play cards right now. That's right. Look at me forgetting the things that I've done again. I do that a lot. Also, just in case you forgot from the first time I play this, I am not above using the undo button because sometimes I read things wrong and sometimes I click on things wrong And it's a video game, and if it were the real game and I happened to slip and play the wrong card by accident, nobody would be upset if I had a redo. Alright, so we are going to redirect this to... Let's see, do we need to redirect it to Plague Locust? No, we don't. We can take that out with Legacy, so I'm just going to redirect it straight to Plague Rat himself. I don't know exactly why Tony was a target there. He is immune to our damage. I suppose we could have redirected it to him anyway, but it wouldn't have done anything. Okay. We're all a little bit lower on HP than I would have liked for turn 2, but let's get rid of Plague Locust. Little unfortunate that we're going to be losing the damage boost from it, but it's not, like I said, it's not really worth keeping it around just for that. So that's gone, he's not healing anymore, and he's also doing less damage to us, which is good. We're no longer infected. Let's see here. I don't particularly want him playing either of those. I'll play this. Who's still infected? Legacy and Fixer are both still infected. I think I'm actually going to get rid of one of them now. So let's get rid of this one. We are going to take some damage. It's not going to be raised by Plague Locust, though, and I'd rather just get that out of the way. I don't always destroy infection cards. Sometimes I'd rather just let them go. But honestly, we're a little bit too low on HP. And we can get a clean slate by doing this, so I'm just going to do it. Alright, I might actually start healing with Tempest at some point. Ooh, Flash Floods are nice in Rook City. Alright. Does this raise my damage by any chance? It really doesn't. I'm just going to play the toolbox. Draw a card. Tire Iron. It's not really what we wanted either. After Mr. Fixer damages a target, if that target has 2 or fewer HP, destroy it. Plague Rat doesn't play any targets. The only target he has in his entire deck is Plague Locust, and unless we do something about it, that's probably not coming back. It's unfortunate. Unless I'm wrong and I'm just not overly familiar with how things work, I don't think Hoist Chain works on him. Dual Crowbars, however, was what I wanted. Blighted Streets. Increase damage dealt to hero targets by 1. At the end of each hero's turn, if that hero dealt no damage this turn, their player may discard 2 cards to destroy this card. After this card is destroyed, play the top card of the villain deck. Lovely. Well, we don't need to Flash Flood it. Once again, I think I am going to play this ongoing, get rid of that infection. Sorry, Tony. We won't call him dead. If the environment reshuffles, he can come back. We'll just call him out of commission. In fact, Afflicted Frenzy. Luckily, right now, we don't have any infected heroes. That's kind of why I did that. And this ongoing is going to be really easy to destroy. So now, he's not doing all that much except dealing us little bits of damage. Plague Rat can be a little bit of a mixed bag in terms of what to expect from his games. He can come out really strong and just like do a bunch of damage and get everybody infected, but the problem with him not having any targets and him relying very heavy on ongoings is sometimes he doesn't really do very much at all. We had kind of a crazy start to the game, but now he's not doing especially much. Gonna play the long game here. And I am going to destroy Blighted Streets. It's unfortunate that he's going to get to play a card, but it has to be done. Alright. This is another disclaimer from last time. I know Lead from the Front is a great card, however, it is completely obnoxious to play it in the video game, so I tend not to. That's why I'm getting rid of it. I know it's a good card. Danger Sense is also good, but I kind of want all that other stuff. Oh, okay. Those can stack, apparently. I don't think I knew that. Let's see here. Don't want any of that, so I'm just gonna just play the decoy. And get rid of one of these. These won't do anything until somebody's in... Well, unless or until somebody's infected. But you don't want to let them stick around, because anything can happen. He could get us all infected next turn. Well, probably not all of us. Actually considering... Yeah, I'm actually gonna heal. I don't do this with Tempest a whole lot, but it is an option, and we're lower on health than I'm comfortable with. Alright. Dual crowbars. Whenever Mr. Fixer deals damage, he may deal that he may deal that damage to one other target as well. Oh shoot, so you can't deal it twice to the same target. However, increase damage dealt by Mr. Fixer by 1. There is a better card for this situation, but this will do. So let's get that in. We currently have a style and a tool. There is a card in our deck somewhere that's going to increase our damage because of it. We don't have any way of getting it out though, so unless we want Visionary to start working with him, which, to be fair, at some point she probably will. That's also one of the reasons to have them on the same team together. Oh, there it is, actually. We'll look at it next turn. Falling Statuary. This, I'm trying to grab the card. Oh, I couldn't. It deals 3 damage to, I think, the lowest health. Sewer Fiend. Plague Rat is immune to toxic damage. Whenever Plague Rat would be dealt damage by an environment card, redirect that damage to an infected hero. If there are no infected heroes, prevent that damage instead. There's not a whole lot of sources of toxic damage coming from the heroes. Haka can do some sometimes, but that's not really the main problem. The problem is this... I don't want to get into it too much because we'll see it later, but this plays off of the other environment in this set. Alright, taking some damage. Redirecting some damage back to the source. And I hate to say it, but it looks like this is going to be one of those games against Plague Rat that's not particularly interesting. Although that could change. But I was, you know... That happens with this set sometimes, not just with Plague Rat, with a lot of the villains. Alright. Anything in here? Not... Actually, I wouldn't mind him playing that again next turn. I say we're not having a great turn, and then here I am, deck controlling, but it's not like I'm not going to try to win, you know? Alright, I'm actually more worried about this than I am about Sewer Fiend. Never did end up getting a Ball Lightning for Tempest. Let's just start dealing some damage then. I think I'm going to heal one more time. That would just make me feel more comfortable. Because it's not like Tempest does all that much damage with his base power anyway. Alright, Pipe Wrench. Increase damage dealt by Mr. Fixer by 1, reduce damage dealt to Mr. Fixer by 1. Isn't going to help against the irreducible damage from Plague Rat, but it could help against the environment, and it's not like we need multi-target hits right now anyway. So let's play the Pipe Wrench. And let's hit Plague Rat for not that much damage. Fixer can do large amounts of damage to many targets. He actually can get kind of scary. However, that's not happening right now. Hopefully we'll get to see it some other time. Toxic Sludge. At the end of the environment turn, deal each target with at least 5 HP 2 toxic damage, then deal each target with at least 10 HP 3 toxic damage. Now it's really unfortunate that Sewer Fiend is out. That's kind of sad. At the start of the environment turn, each player may discard 1 card. Any player that does may destroy 1 environment card. This is kind of a risk versus reward card. It can be very, very powerful. In a situation like this, I am just going to destroy it. We don't want to be taking that much damage, and the environment has not gone so far out of control that I want to use this to destroy things. You can destroy itself that way. So it's not like I need to flash flood it, but I'm not going to let it just sit out and do this every turn. Again, speeding through, we're all just taking 2 damage. I'm redirecting 2 damage to Plague Rat, not that it's going to do anything, but it means I don't take it. And then we're all going to take 3 more. 2 more in Fixer's case. That's why I played, what's it called? That's why I played Pipe Wrench. Alright. And that's why I've been healing, because like I said, we're at just lower health than I'm comfortable with. But we are comboed out with Legacy. And unless I'm misremembering, which I could be because I'm not that familiar with Rook City, I don't believe either Rook City or Plague Rat have any ongoing removal. So we are comboed out. We're dealing extra damage and healing every turn. And 4 damage to Plague Rat done by Legacy is pretty good. There's Inspiring Presence. I was just about to say the only thing that would make it better would be an Inspiring Presence. Guess I'm going to play the decoy again. And we're going to get rid of... I might regret this, but I'm going to get rid of Afflicted Frenzy again. Ooh, Demoralization is nice. Alright, I'll just play a Chain Lightning. No need to worry about targets, because there aren't ever going to be any. So it's not like this card is ever going to get any more use than just as a single target, deal 5 damage. Healing again. Whew, thank goodness for Tempest, right? Every now and then he does get to play his support role. Alright. Overdrive, we're going to save that for later. I'll show you what it does. He can use his strike power twice this turn, but his strike power can get powered up more later. So as long as we have other sources of damage, which we do, I'm just going to do that. So this is Charge, just deals a straight 2 damage to one target, which in this case is 4 because of Legacy's Galvanize and the Pipe Wrench. He's almost down below half. We're doing fairly well. There's still time for things to go wrong, but we're doing pretty okay right now. We are going to get rid of that. Who can discard? Not Legacy. Well, maybe Legacy. Yeah, I'm just gonna have Visionary get rid of Rest the Mind. And we don't need to discard anything else. We're just gonna get rid of that. Watch it play another one immediately. Ugh, Scum and Villainy. Trying to grab this card so we can see it. Come on. Here we go. At the end of the environment turn, play the top card of the villain deck. At the start of the environment turn, the villain character card with the highest HP deals each hero target 3 melee damage and destroy this card. We're flash flooding this. Just getting rid of it. There's no need to deal with that. He played Bestial Vitality. Reduce damage dealt to Plaguerat by 1. At the end of the villain turn, Plaguerat regains 3 HP. We want that gone, obviously. And now he just played Vicious Onslaught. Plaguerat deals each hero target other than the hero target with the lowest HP 2 melee damage and 2 toxic damage, but does not infect anyone. So let's all take 2 melee damage and 2 toxic damage, redirect some of that back to Plaguerat. That was not irreducible, by the way, so it got reduced, which meant we can't redirect more, but whatever. And here goes the damage. I do believe that was the decoy destroyed. Also, just in case anybody didn't remember, we can only redirect damage once per turn with this card. That's why we didn't get to do it the second time. Alright, Inspiring Presence. I think between Legacy and Tempest, we can keep our health high enough. Look, I've said this is an uneventful game, and in the grand scheme of things it is, but we are struggling here. It's not like we're just creaming him or anything. I think we're gonna win. I think it's pretty safe to say we're gonna win. But if it weren't for all this healing, we might have lost somebody by now. Demoralization. It's gonna do 1 damage at the beginning of Visionary's turn. And we're gonna get rid of Bestial Vitality. Sewer Fiend is still there. Potentially being unfortunate. Alright, just use Flash Flood. Get that out of here. I hate that card. And we're gonna heal again. Our damage seems to have stalled a little bit. That's nice. I would like to be doing a little bit more damage right now. I can't wait. I can't afford to just wait for him to maybe get cards or maybe not. I'm just gonna use the power twice. We may never see the card that raises his damage for having a tool and a style out. You can't really wait for cards for Fixer. I think I get what they were going for. He's a martial arts master and sort of like, oh, there it is. And sort of uses whatever he has in front of him. So whatever tools you have, that's what you're going to use against the opponent. In practice, it doesn't usually end up working out that well. Twisting Back Alleys. Reduce damage dealt to villain targets by 1. At the end of the environment turn, players may play both the top card of the villain deck and the top card in the environment deck to destroy this card. That's also getting flash flooded. No, we are not letting him play extra cards. I hate Rook City. Noxious Bites. Come on. Come on. Come on. Alright, so I couldn't grab... Oh, there we go. Plaguerat deals the hero target with the lowest HP 4 toxic damage and infects them. I don't think I'm going to go out of my way to get rid of the infection this time. Oh, it doesn't infect them. It infects a hero. I think we're just going to deal with it, honestly. He's at low enough health that I'll let Mr. Fixer take some damage rather than letting everyone take 4 damage. I don't think it's necessary. I think we're going to probably get him in another couple turns or two. That's the same thing that I just said. Another turn or two. Yeah, we might even get him next round. Alright. I don't think he's got that many ways of healing up, especially on this side, and with no infected heroes. Well, one infected hero. There goes Demoralization. I guess I'll play Mass Levitation, because I've got nothing else to play. And let's destroy Sewer Fiend, finally. Legacy, or not Legacy, Visionary really taking care of the ongoing removal for this game. Do I want to play the Gene-Bound Shackles? Oh no, I want to play Flash Flood, what am I saying? Get rid of that thing. And healing again. There's always the possibility that Plague Rat comes out with some big damage, and the possibility that Rook City comes out with some big damage. Ooh, that sucks. I think we're gonna... Well, I'll decide by Visionaries next turn if we want to keep taking that. Harmony. When both a tool card and a style card are in play, increase damage dealt by Mr. Fixer by 1. I usually like to have this out before using his, like, damage-dealing cards, but like I said, with him, we could have gone the entire game without seeing it. I think I might have been wrong about getting him next round. Oh, and there's an extra copy. Oh, not again. We've actually gotten pretty low. Oh, here we go again. We've actually gotten pretty lucky with getting Fixer's cards. He can go for entire games and not really do much of anything. Alright, like I said, there's still time for things to go wrong against this guy. But his health is low enough. Ooh, that sucks. Plague Rat deals the hero target with the lowest HP 3 toxic damage. Plague Rat deals the hero target with the highest HP 5 melee damage. And somebody's getting infected. I think it's too little too late. I think we've got him. And I don't even think we might lose Tempest, actually. It's possible that we come out with Tempest alive. I would like that, obviously. But the time for healing has come and gone. Tempest is going to take what could be his last turn and deal as much damage as he can. I guess we'll play this. Immune to damage of your choice. No, it's too important to play Motivational Charge. He's got us kind of backed into a corner. I think the best thing we can do is just take him out. Like I said, too little, too late. Even Visionary's dealing damage right now. Play another decoy. That's the third decoy out this game. I barely even play one in a game. I would really like a Lightning Slash. Very much. There it is. We got it. This is the start of the... Yeah, it's the start of the turn. We're getting rid of that. Tempest is not getting another turn after this, and I don't think Plague Rat is either. Alright, Lightning Slash. This might do it. That did it. Alright. Not a terrible game for our first introduction to Rook City. Not the most eventful, but also did show that even on an uneventful turn, or an uneventful game by some of these new heroes, it's not necessarily going to be easy. So thank you very much for watching this first episode of Let's Play Sentinels of the Multiverse Rook City, and hopefully I see you in the next episode where we start to explore this expansion a little bit more. Bye bye!